Hello, this is the Ramblings of an Indisco Mind podcast for Monday, June 20th, 2016. As of this recording, Sierra is still missing. So I thought I'd talk about Saturday. Saturday was my graduation day. So I got all dolled up. I actually put a tie on. I haven't worn a tie in forever. And we had to be there at 9:30. Because the ceremony started at 10:30, and I had to check in and all this stuff. And we're driving there, and it just struck me that here was finally the culmination of all this work that started 3 years ago this month. And when I started on this, I only had the vaguest of ideas of the end goal of actually going to graduation. And even starting this last semester, it was a little closer, but it really wasn't, the feeling of going to the ceremony really wasn't something I was considering. It was more about, getting the grade and checking it off and all that. But as I'm driving there, I was like, I'm finally here. I'm finally going to take part in a college graduation ceremony as a graduate. I've only been in 2 graduation ceremonies in my life, and the other one was my high school graduation. I did not walk for my associates because I think I got done in like December, and they didn't do a mid-year one or something along those lines. But I didn't take part in that one for whatever reason. I probably just didn't feel like it was worth it. This time there was never really any question for me if I was going to do that. And there was actually a guy that I was sitting near, and we had some time to talk because we had to go to this side chapel at this church where it's at, where we were all lined, getting him in the order that we would walk across the stage in. And he didn't want to come, and his wife was like, no, you need to do this, you'll regret it later if you don't. So he kind of came kind of reluctantly. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I kind of wondered, I believe it was the president of the college made some comments about, if you didn't want to come and are here as talking to us graduates, we thank you, because in a very real sense, the ceremony isn't so much for you, it's for all the people that have supported you through this and want to celebrate it as much or more than you do. So that was kind of an interesting take. The commencement speaker is this woman named Florrie Mark, and she's rather a bit of a celebrity, I guess, here. I think I mentioned her before, but she's in charge of this company that's a Weight Watchers distributor. Turns out they are the largest distributor, or franchisees, not distributor, franchisee in the United States, because they run them in Michigan. I think they do kind of like Michigan, Ohio, Indiana kind of area. And she gave her speech. She was given a honorary Doctor of Laws, which is not usually you get some sort of honorary degree, but she was getting quite emotional about it. I mean, she was obviously tearing up, and when she started talking, the reason why was because she has 0 degrees. I mean, she started off as, she was a wife and mother, and got enthused about the Weight Watchers thing, and started a business doing that. And so she'd never got any kind of a college degree. Everything she'd learned was all self-taught. So it was rather emotional for her to actually get one, which was, kind of interesting. And then, after she talked, and they had a student speaker, and several other things, Then it was finally time for the handing out of diplomas, and I do the air quotes thing because for you audio people, I hope you heard it, because what we got was a little rolled up scroll of paper with a ribbon around it. The actual diplomas get mailed out in 6 to 8 weeks. So, but when we got together in the chapel, they had us grouped by our programs, whether we were in a BBA or, in my case, Bachelor of Business Administration, if you were a BS for Bachelor of Science, if you were a Master of this, Master of that. And I just kind of sat at the back row of the BBA people because there were a couple guys there that I knew from classes, and we were kind of chatting. So while we were waiting, because we had about half an hour, 45 minutes to kill. And little did I know that cemented, where we're sitting, cemented our placement in the whole procession. And they did all the master's students first, and then they did the undergraduates. And since we were in the last row in this chapel, when we moved into the main sanctuary space, because this is held at a big mega church that's right there, we were in the last row there, so we were in the last group. There were probably maybe 7 people behind me to be done, but we're sitting there watching, people are cheering, and there were a couple of people that were like loud. I do have to say, I felt the decorum of the people there was quite nice. I mean, if there was a little bit of quietness as they're, person A is getting up, or they're preparing to do this or that, the other thing, and there wasn't a ton of that, but there was a little bit. We didn't have anybody yelling out, but we had some cheering for individual graduates. They really had to get us moving along, because there was between the upper class, well, between the graduate students and us, there was over 400 and some odd graduates. There were 200 or something alone in the undergraduate. And so, we're walking up there and we're watching this, and the flow is that you've got a card with your name on it. You hand it to the lady that's reading the names. She reads your names, and then you walk. And the first person that you get to meet is Florrie Mark. And my intention was, because you could hear these as we're walking up, you could hear these people yelling for their people. And in fact, I was like 4th or 5th back, so I was kind of halfway on the stage a little bit, and this family yelled, and their people were like in this section right here, close to us, and this one woman yelled, and it hurt my ears from there. I was like, holy crap, I'd hate to be the guy sitting in front of her. But I got up there and I gave my name, and my intention was to listen for, my family. And they said my name, and I started walking, and all I'm focused on is as I'm walking, and I'm going to shake hands with Florrie Mark. I didn't even hear them. But it's kind of cool because, she showed that she's got short-term memory, and she said, congratulations, Keith. So she was paying attention to the names, and I shook her hand, and I had to shake some other guy's hand, and then I shook the hand of I think it's the Dean of Students, and he was handing us the fake diplomas. And then I walked center stage to where the president was waiting, and I shook her hand, and then we paused for a second because they took our picture. And then they had a whole phalanx of teachers that apparently, because this phalanx would change for the various degrees, and so these are apparently the teachers who were involved in the various BBA degrees. I do believe I should have looked up the pictures of both of my teachers for this capstone class. I am pretty sure that one of the women whose hands I shook was one of the teachers there, because I've seen her picture. She's got her picture set up in Moodle, and so whenever she replies to something, I see her picture. I don't know if the other teacher was there or not. But you shake your hand to that, and then you're walking off the stage, and you kind of go in the wings, off the wings of the stage, and then they had a photographer there with a backdrop, and you took yet another picture just by yourself, and then it was down around, and you went back to your seat. You had to kind of wind your way through the audience to get back to your seat, and that was it. I mean, it was a 2-hour program to get all the way through everybody. One of the things that was cool is I did get a little bling. Instead of just my black robe and black mortarboard, based on my GPA, I was summa cum laude, which out of a group of 210 or so graduates, there were 11 of us that were summa cum laude. So I got this nice gold, what do you call it? I don't know. Gold rope with tassels. I guess you just call it a cord. I got a gold cord to wear because I was summa cum laude. They didn't announce that when you went up, which I thought would have been kind of cool, but it wasn't the program. They had a nice program, and it was marked there as summa cum laude, so that was cool. So yeah, we went out for a lunch, and it was just a nice day. It was fun. I had a couple beers to celebrate, because beer. Why not? And then Sunday was Father's Day, so it's like the whole weekend was my weekend. And then I still had, at that time, I still had one grade outstanding on my capstone class, and that was for the big paper. And it was the male teacher, graded it Sunday afternoon, and I got full marks on it. So that solidifies my A in that course. So I'm looking forward to them actually posting that within the grading system. It's due by tomorrow. And then I can see what my final GPA is going to be. It's 3.96 now, so I expect it's probably just going to pop up to like 3.97 or something like that. So, and then that'll be my final GPA. So and then once I'm done with that, then I'm totally done. But yeah, I'm graduated. I'm moving on to other things. So it was interesting ride. It was a fun ceremony. I did ask my family, because the ceremony didn't seem that long to me with all the speeches. I said, did it seem longer to you guys? And they were like, oh yeah. Not surprising. I kind of knew the answer, but yeah, not too surprising. But anyway, I think I will let that be that for today. I'll be back on the road tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you then. So, be seeing you.